Hi guys, we are Sistah Sistah.
Welcome back to our podcast listeners and our YouTube channel watchers. This is a new episode on season 2 of
Sistah Sistah.
Good there? You good there? Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
I am Zeitlin Perez, a singer, songwriter, have my own PR and marketing agency. I am an events executioner, as well as a restaurant owner, community activist, y mucho más.
Yes. And I am Miss YaYa, also a singer, songwriter, radio and podcast host, sketch comedy performer, and some other cool stuff sprinkled in there.
That's right. So make sure you hit that notification button on the YouTube channel and on your favorite podcast platform to get alerts of all new episodes. Tell your vecina, tell la tía, tell the comadre, and you, because we want to talk to you. We want to be everywhere.
And you know, we're all about encouraging women and shining a light on queens in business, music, community,
health, wellness, and much more. Speaking to you as real and in Spanglish as we can do. In season 2, we're going to talk to so many great guests, changing the game in their industries.
And normally we meet up at the Colorworks Design Studio to do our podcast pre-social distancing.
True. And although we're home and we miss our Colorworks family, we wanted to show them love with our hoodie, which you can find on colorworks.com.
Bam! All right, so I love it. Well, today we have Sherly Tavarez, a fashion stylist and entrepreneur from Orlando, Florida. She's been in New York for about 7 years now, positioning herself as one of the most sought-after fashion stylists.
So Sherly Tavarez has a degree in marketing and advertising from the International Academy of Design and Technology. She has her own fashion blog and is the CEO of Hause, a natural and curly hair movement taking over NYC.
And I got to see firsthand the unity that this curly hair community brings when Z and I attended the House of Curls Night Cruise, the first annual one in 2019. And that was so much fun. Z put me onto House of Curls and their movement, and I'm all here for it. So let's welcome Sherly. Welcome to our show, Sistah Sistah.
No, we gotta do it right. We are
Sistah Sistah.
I love it.
So, Sherly, we've been planning to do the sit down for a while now, way before quarantine.
Yes.
What have you been doing before all of this has been happening? Talk to us.
So before quarantine happened, oh man, wow. I had so many things planned for House of Curls this year. I love to throw events for House of Curls. That's how we met. And we had so many things planned, new things that I had never done before, and we were obviously not able to do it because of everything that's going on. I live in New York, but I'm actually in Florida now, quarantining with my mom. Because, New York was the epicenter of everything, and every day my mom was like, come to Florida. And so my parents and my boyfriend's parents both live in Florida. So it just made sense to be closer to home, So we came here about a month ago, and obviously the weather's been amazing, so I can't complain. And it's just been nice just spending time with my mom, and I was actually able to spend Mother's Day with my mom, which I never get to do because she lives in Florida. So it's been really good.
That's great that you were able to travel back to be with family, and coincidentally that your boyfriend's family lives in Florida. So you guys are all in proximity of each other.
Yes.
it's been a crazy time. It's been a crazy time. But we'll get into, what more of what you've been up to since. So your family is from Orlando. You were born and raised there. Tell us about your parents and your family and growing up in that household.
So I was actually born in Dominican Republic. Yeah, and we came to Orlando when I was 3 years old. So Orlando is all I've known my entire life. I moved to New York when I was 23, and I've been living there for 7 years now. So it's my new home. But obviously, all of my family lives in Orlando, so I come to visit a lot, and a lot of my best friends still live here. So it's definitely home. My mom moved from the home that I grew up in, so it's been a little different adjusting to that. But it's just always home to come here. It feels like I never left whenever I come. I love driving around. I love going to the beaches, doing all the things I don't get to do in New York. So it's always fun. I always get together with my cousins, and my brothers are both married with kids, so those kids are like my kids. I get to spend time with my nieces and nephews, and I use them as models too. So it's been really, really great spending time here. And actually, the people who print my t-shirts, two of the people I use live here in Orlando, so I'm saving a ton of money on shipping right now. So it's good. It's been great.
Oh, that's amazing. Good for you. And like you spoke, like familiarity is in Florida. So what was that motivation to move all the way from Florida to New York right after college? Not everybody could do that.
Yeah, it was really scary. I decided around when I was 19 that I wanted to do fashion styling, and Orlando was just not the place for that. Obviously, there was no need for fashion stylists, so I started building my portfolio slowly, meeting models, photographers, hairstylists, and kind of building a portfolio. But once I realized that I just wasn't going anywhere with it, I was like, I need to move. And I don't know, somehow I wasn't scared about where I would go, but I applied to places in LA, in Miami, in New York, and I already have family that lives in New York, so it wasn't too bad. So when I finally made the decision to move, I lived with my dad for the first time ever. And it was him, his wife, and my half-sister in a one-bedroom apartment in the Bronx. Mind you, I had never lived in New York in my life, and this is what I was going to. There was no AC. I always tell people the stories that I literally had to do my makeup inside the fridge with a mirror on. I went to laundromat for the first time. I, rode the subways for the first time. It was like such a shock to me. I mean, I grew up with a laundry, with a car, with central AC. Like, it was such a shock for me. But I think it made me really appreciate everything that I had before, because you don't think about it because you grow up with it. So when I moved there, it was a huge shock moment for me, and it made me super grateful and humble. And I think I'm just really grateful for like the tough person that New York has made me so far.
Oh, New York will make you tough. It will make you tough. And the thing is that a lot of people coming here that aren't from here, it is an adjustment. But 7 years later, you are thriving, boo. Look at you, thriving. You've been a stylist for brands like Burberry, Macy's, Cantu, Hugo Boss, New York & Company, Sephora, and that experience is reflected in your fashion blog. So tell us, what is stylethescene.com?
Yeah, so I changed the name of my blog like 3-4 times because I had no idea what I was doing at first, and I was like, I don't love this, I don't love that. But Style the Scene was really created to showcase my styling ability more than anything. So when I first started it, it was about styling other people and showcasing how I can style them. And I still do that, but now I'm working with a lot of other brands where I promote them, and it's really organic. It's genuine stuff that I really use and love. And I've never worked with a brand that I don't actually believe in, because why would I do that? But I've just loved building these relationships with brands. So I've worked with people like Crest, SiriusXM, AARP, and the list goes on. But I think more importantly, I've built a connection with these brands so much that now a lot of them work with me whenever I need products or anything like that for my own personal brand, House of Curls, which is amazing.
Which is a great segue. We definitely love what you built in that website with styling and giving great tips, but this is your baby. House of Curls is your baby. What was that aha moment that started this entrepreneurial venture?
Well, I think it all started when I went to Curl Fest about 2 years ago or so. That summer I went and I remember seeing this t-shirt and it said something about like curl power or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cute. But I just felt like it didn't resonate with me enough. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to get it. So I remember going home and a few days later, something inside me clicked and I was like looking for t-shirts still online because I was going to a natural hair event. And I was like, I just don't feel anything that I relate to. So I was like, I'm going to make a t-shirt. I literally got out of bed. It was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I was like, oh, I'm going to make a t-shirt. And then I was like, the first thing that came to my mind is like, what did you hear when you were growing up? And it was like, pelo malo. And I was like, okay, so what do I do with pelo malo? And I was like, well, now we're embracing it. Now we love our hair. Like, we don't really use those words anymore. And I was like, pelo malo where? Like, I immediately knew I wanted it to be bilingual. And I wanted it to be able to be relatable to the millennial woman. So I was like, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. And I was like, you know what? Even if I sell 2 t-shirts, this is going to be great. And so I put it out, and to my amazement, I got 179 pre-orders within like a week, and it was like insane. And that's when I knew I had to make a business out of it.
Wow. And okay, so Z and I mentioned earlier in your introduction, in your grand introduction, that we attended your House of Curls cruise, and that was when I got put on to the whole House of Curls movement, because Z had already been riding that wave on her own, rocking her natural curly hair. And then she'd been telling me about House of Curl for months. And she's like, oh, you have to come, you have to see, you have to follow. And we went on the cruise, and it was so amazing to see so many women just like walking in, strutting their stuff, rocking their curls, complimenting each other on each other's curls, asking each other what products they use, and talking about their connection with House of Curl and how they ended up on this cruise. So where do you see that going? Was 2019 the first one, or it's the second one, right?
That was our first year anniversary, yeah.
So tell us, what are your plans for the House of Curl, the cruise, and just in general, your whole brand of House of Curl? Where do you see it in 5 years?
Oh my God. It's so funny because I was just talking to my boyfriend about it, and I was like, I can't believe so many people came to that cruise that I didn't even know. I remember walking by so many faces that I was like, oh my God, all these people are here for my little brand. Like, it was such a wow moment. Like, I still get chills thinking about it because, you know, you create a brand and you think a few people are going to know about it. But I think for me and my brand, it was more like an emotional thing that I touched with people. It wasn't just a t-shirt or apparel. Like, it was a movement, like, you know, like what we say. And it's like you say, it's a community, it's a movement. It's more about getting to know people, networking. And I love doing events for House of Curls. I mean, it's literally like my favorite thing about my brand because I get to meet so many people. I get to hear their stories. And during that night, I obviously didn't get to talk to so many people, but just seeing them there and dancing and talking to each other and just having fun was the best night I've ever had. Like, it was more than I could have ever hoped for. And I hope I am able to do more cruises, more events. We actually had a retreat planned for this year in DR, but not sure if that's going to happen yet. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm really hoping I can still, you know, do some fun stuff this year. We also had a tour, a pop-up tour planned for this year for House of Curls. So we had a lot of fun stuff planned, but if it doesn't happen this year, it'll happen the next year. So it's all good.
Absolutely. It's incredible how you celebrated your first anniversary, not understanding the impact you made. So you did build a community within a community, and it was all about Latinas and identifying and meshing our language and it was just awesome. So you did create a community for us. So what are you thinking of how growing? Obviously, you mentioned all these future endeavors, but did you think about that when you created your first T-shirt?
No, I honestly didn't think I would make any other T-shirts. I thought I would make this one T-shirt. I thought I would sell, like I said, maybe 20, and that would be it. I honestly didn't even have a website when I first made the first T-shirts. I was like, DM me or email me. Like, I didn't think it was going to get to where it is today. I mean, we got 12,000, almost 13,000 followers in a year and a half. And they're all organic. They're all because our family supports us and posts us and shares, and we've got so much amazing press. Like, it's all been so organic. And every day I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe this. Like, we've made so many products. We've made T-shirts, swimsuits, hairpins, fanny packs. Like, I'm just in shock. And we're actually doing a lot more products now. Quarantine has given me so much time to focus. Like, we've actually been coming up with ways to like keep communicated with our customers and keep growing, and it's honestly been a really good time. At first it was kind of slow and scary and like, what's gonna happen, because who needs a T-shirt right now? They're not going anywhere, but we made sure to still make things that people connect with and still talk to our customers through emails and social media. And we just created the most amazing nurse care packages for nurses for Nurse Week.
I loved it.
Oh,
I loved it. I was just so moved by that gesture that you did, and you pretty much what you did is connect the dots. So how can I get what we already do, all the resources, all the brands, all the relationships, and do something positive? That's exactly what we've been saying, that you created this community amongst us, and now you converted it into something of giving back. So my mind blew, and I loved it. I was like doing in the stories and commenting on how amazing. I wish it was just amazing. I kudos to you.
I can see the blown awayness in your face. I
mean, it was funny because it all started with one girl. She DM'd me and she was like, hey, can you make a T-shirt for curly nurses? And I was like, And I was like, wait a minute, I could do more than that. So I literally reached out to all of my connections and I was like, this is what I want to do. I was obviously spending my own money on the 50 T-shirts. So I was like, this is as many as I can do. Can you give me 50 products? And that was it. After that, it was a wrap.
That was so awesome.
We've talked to other influencers, and that's basically what they say. Like, they come with a product or they come with a vision, and just ask companies. Like, It's really just, again, about networking and just knowing what your vision is and asking, and that the worst answer could be no.
Exactly. If you don't ask, you don't get it.
No es tú, voy con otra compañía.
My mom taught me that. She was like, if you don't ask, you don't get it. And I've lived by those words my entire life.
Mm-hmm. Ya lo sabes. The Dominican saying, el que no mama, no come.
Exactly.
That's the saying. You got to say, yo tengo hambre, pues te voy a dar comida.
Exactly.
One thing I also love is that you incorporate your family. We actually saw your family and how they were celebrating you on the annual cruise.
Oh my God.
I think we even met your aunt. We were like dancing and partying. It was so fun. But you're also incorporating it into some of your inspirations for your line. Talk to us about these new inspirations that have evolved for this year.
You mean the Mommy and Me ones? Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. So I actually have been wanting to do Mommy and Me for a while because people love buying stuff for their kids, for one. And I was like, they've been asking me, but obviously as a small business, to be able to create more and more products, you need more and more money. So it's a slow process. But this year I was like, I really want to do it. People are home. They won't have any other thing to make them happy or like be able to dress up. So when I thought about it, I was like, well, what would I want to wear with my mom, you know, or if I had a kid, what would I want to wear? And so we created a Mommy and Me for unisex, a Mommy and Me for girls, and a Mommy and Me for boys. And they did so well. People loved them. They posted pictures. They bought them for other people as gifts. So they're still buying them because obviously it's a year-round thing, and it's been really fun. And I even gave some to my nieces and nephews, and they were so cute in it. So yeah, that was really fun to create.
Oh, amazing. Amazing.
How do you?
I want to get like a teddy bear or something to put a t-shirt on at this point. My niece is 20. She's too old. She's
too old. I know. Me, baby fever, seeing the little onesies. I was like, oh my God.
How do you get your inspirations? How do you get these styles? How do you get these fun wordings? And what's your process? Walk us through it.
Oh man, it is a process. So for the t-shirts, I normally try to do a collection. So we'll do like a Christmas collection, a summer collection, things like that. And here and there I'll do stuff in between, but I try to do things about 2 to 3 months in advance, just because there's, you know, time for error or anything like that. So basically, sometimes I'll ask my best friends, sometimes I'll ask my boyfriend, I'll ask my cousins, I'll ask my mom. I try to get input from a lot of different people, just because it's hard to create the right font, the right color, you know, the right style. And everyone likes different stuff. And even sometimes when I come out with things, people are like, well, do you have it in this color? So it's really hard, and it's really scary whenever I put out something new, because it's like, oh my God, are they gonna love it? Are they gonna hate it? But you know, you do what you can. And yes, I've had products that have flopped, not completely, but have not done as well as others. And you know, it's all a learning curve.
Yeah.
So it all just comes together at the end, which is nice.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's trial and error, and you've been doing a lot more success on the trial and error side than the flop side. I mean,
yeah.
To me, I just see thrivation. I mean, I picked that word up. It's okay, thrivation.
I like that word.
It's okay. Put it on a t-shirt.
Thrivation.
Put the guy on there.
Curls
Thrivation.
Well, I'm gonna have to think of something. Curls thrivation.
Something incorporate thrivation somewhere. I just literally made it up. I don't know.
I love it.
So with all of this success, with all of your training through experience, working for all these brands, having your own blog, I'm sure, as most of us, if not all of us, have at some point or another gone through a moment where we've doubted ourselves or we've had a setback. If you've ever had a setback, or whenever you have a setback, what do you do to get back on track and find your center?
Oh my God. Running your own business, you have a setback like every day. Like every day it's something new. If it's not a package that's lost, it is UPS saying that they can't find the address, or your t-shirts are not coming in on time. It's literally something every day. And I used to like cry. I just used to get mad and I used to cry. Obviously at the beginning, I had to literally relearn how to just focus my energy on what I can do instead of what's going on wrong. Because at first, I wouldn't sleep. There was weeks that I wouldn't sleep. I would wake up just thinking about what's going wrong. I was anxious all the time. I wasn't eating. Like at the beginning, it was very bad. It was very bad because, at the beginning, you're just trying to build a name for yourself, and you're just trying to perfect everything, and you quickly learn that that's never going to be the case. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. And now when something happens, I'm just like, okay, we'll fix it. Like it's a complete change from when I first started a year and a half ago. But that takes time. I mean, I had to learn so many things. I had to learn how to do my own taxes, how to do tax sales, how to get shipping labels. I didn't even know what or how I was going to package my stuff when I first started. I started with $300. I didn't even have that much money to put into it. And I was like, I'm just going to go for it. If it goes great, great. If it doesn't, oh well. But I think going in with that attitude helped me a lot. And then I just kind of got back to the rhythm of things once I realized I can't control everything.
That's a great outlook. And I'm sure it's helped to relieve a lot of stress once you made a conscious effort to flip your way of thinking from focusing on what's going wrong to let's fix it. How can we fix it?
Yeah, literally. That's the only way to do it, because otherwise you're gonna drive yourself crazy, and I drive everyone around me crazy as well.
Makes absolute sense. Take it away, Z.
So give us a tip. Give us a tip on somebody that is trying to do something super cool, or is looking into, just like you, to do something different that identifies with you. What would you tell that person?
I actually get a lot of DMs. I mean, it's super humbling, and I feel so grateful. I got a lot of DMs with girls saying, I'd love to start my own business or do something like you're doing, to inspire others. And the thing that I always tell people when they ask me that is, or when they ask me like how I connect with my customers, it's make sure it's something personal. Like, you make it personal. Like, it's not just a transaction. Whenever I send out a package, I always make sure to write a handwritten note so that they know it's not coming from a big business with a huge warehouse with 1 million people working there. Like, this is mostly a one-woman show. I have people who help me, but the day-to-day is all me. And I want people to know and feel that whenever they receive their package, whenever I talk to them through DM, and people are like, oh my God, I can't believe you answered me. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just a person. Like, it's just me running the show. Like, of course. And I answer all of my emails, all of the DMs, any questions people have. Like, I make sure that people know it's a brand coming from a person just like you, created by a Latina just like you. And, I try to make sure to share my story as much as I can so that people know, the background and the story of how we started. And I think it's great that a lot of people think that we're way bigger than what we are. That means I'm doing a good job. But I also still try to tell people, like, I'm sorry for the delay if something's happening. Like, I'm very honest. This is what's going on. I can't control this. And a lot of people are super understanding. And I love the fact that I have a relationship with most of my customers. They come to my events, they share my posts, tell people about us, and that's really it. Just keep it personable.
Oh my God, thank you so much for being with us. I love it. Obviously, you see that we are rocking your stuff and your little House of Curls.
I love it. Little mother wear.
Yes. So, thank you so much for being with us. But before we go, we have a last segment for you that it's in quarantine times. What are the things that you can live with, which you will respond yes, or without, which is nah. So we're going to ask a series of questions.
Okay.
And we're going to cue 30 seconds on the clock.
You got it already? Okay. You are so quick with it.
All right. So 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Junk food.
Yes.
Sleeping all hours of the day.
No, unfortunately.
Wine.
Yes.
A routine.
A little bit of both.
Zoom meetings.
Yes.
Coffee.
Not a coffee drinker.
Face mask.
Yes.
Leaving your house.
Yes.
And your favorite curse word.
Shit.
That'll work.
That'll work.
That's whenever I can't control something, there it goes.
It goes to shit.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being with us today, Sherly. I mean, this has been in the making, months in the making. But
I know. I'm so happy I finally got able to do it. Thank you so much. You guys are my first podcast interview, by the way.
You are kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. So this is exciting.
I love it. Oh my God.
You're our first hair care influencer on our show.
Woo!
Yes.
That's exciting.
So please share with everybody who is watching and also listening where they can find you on social media, on your .com, so if they want to shop around and get to know House of Curls.
So my personal handle is at Sherly Tavarez. My brand at House of Curls is at HAUSEOFCURLS, House of Curls. It's spelled a little different because House, the original one, was taken. And houseofcurls.com for shopping merch.
Right over here. Thank you so much. We appreciate you so much. You know that I'm a loyal fan because I love what you do, but I wanted everyone else to know you as well.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited for this interview.
Take care.
See you soon.
That was fun talking to Sherly.
Isn't she a sweetheart?
She is a sweetheart, and she seems like she's so así calladita, but you can tell just from listening to her talk that she is a boss biche.
Yeah,
okay?
She is a force, and she's a testament to exactly what you see something, you find a solution, and you just do it. Go for it. Let me just do a freaking t-shirt myself. And then, boom, this response, it identified with people like me. I learned about her as a customer because it was going through the same time of me transitioning to my natural hair and all that good stuff. So I wanted to also incorporate that into fashion because this is a journey, guys. This was a journey. And now that I did it, I want to rock it with fashion. And she has such great taste. So you should check it out.
We met each other, you and I, Z, 3 years ago when you were kind of starting your curly hair journey. So I saw a video a couple of days ago on Instagram of you with straight, long hair. That was like, le pasaste la plancha. It was shiny and glossy, but I love your curly hair. I love that you embrace it, that you rock it, and it looks beautiful because I feel like, who did we talk to? Oh, Flash. One of the things that Flash from a past episode, she said that when she decided to do her curly hair transition, her mom was like, you kind of look like not put together. And that's the older way of thinking of things. There's a way to rock your natural hair and make it look crisp and beautiful, and why not?
Yeah, which is why Flash is doing so great as an influencer and with her projects, and why Sherly is doing so well as well because she is embracing this, and there's so many of us that feel the same way, and we're supporting it.
Mm-hmm. And it's beautiful that I'm sure like it happens to us all the time where we'll be like, if only there was this, or if only there was that. And you think of a way for a split second of how you could fill that void of creating something that you know you would need. So obviously somebody else would need, but a lot of people don't follow through with it. The fact that Sherly is following through with it, she's like a one-man band, and it's inspiring and amazing.
It's all about connections. It's all about nourishing your relationships, and it's showing up, follow through and follow up. Like
exactly.
This is a perfect example of that. So once again, we want to say a special thank you to Sherly Tavarez from House of Curls. Check her page out. You guys will love it. And her story, just follow her. We got to support each other.
And also make sure that you subscribe to all of our pages. And that's Sistah Sistah
in IG, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zeitlin Perez in IG, and
Miss YaYa on IG.
That's right. And we will see you next time
on